So a lot has happened since. Oh, a lot has happened since I last posted. I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I was in the sauna like a month or two ago, and I just kind of like came to the understanding that like part of me just really wanted to go back to flag after Vegas. I didn't really have like a time frame, but I just thought about it, and that's just I could choose to feel that's what I wanted, and I kind of just like kept that open. I didn't really push it. I let guys know from flag that that's what I was thinking, and one of my buddies, Shannon, he was gonna go to do a PhD program in Washington, but then he decided not to do that. And then he was thinking about moving to California, but he decided to stay in Flag for a little bit before he moves to California. And his lease ends in August, and we were thinking about living together, so it just kind of lined up that we would start looking for a place for August. And then a buddy of ours, Teddy, has a house that opened up, and it just like lined up perfectly. So we're gonna be moving into Teddy's house. Me, Shannon, and Teddy will be living together in August. So it was nice, like completely lined up. I didn't have to really do anything, and the rent's like super cheap. Teddy's really hooking us up, which is awesome, especially for Flag. And then I'll probably like get there a little earlier, just to like start looking for work. Crash at a buddy's house and look for some work. I have a feeling I'll be able to get hired back at the job I worked at before I left Fat Olives. It's a good paying job. And that would just be so cool if I don't even have to really try to find work either, if it just lines up. It would be like the easiest move ever without really doing anything. The room's furnished too, like I don't have to bring any furniture. I just kind of show up and I can just start living there. So I'm pretty excited to leave for Flagstaff and start training at my old gym. That there's like a Insurgent Fitness is the gym, the name of the gym that I used to train at, and they're making a pivot into MMA as well, which is super convenient. It like lines up with my focus, so it's super awesome. I'm pretty excited to start flushing that out with those guys. Um, Forgot what I was thinking. Oh yeah, I'm bummed to be leaving my dad and Bogey. That's kind of like something that's been nice to be around, living with my dad here. Especially Bogey. Like my dad and I will see each other throughout our lives pretty consistently, but Bogey is like kind of nearing the end of his life, and I'm glad that I got to spend the time with him this last like year-ish before leaving, because he's definitely turned a corner. I just hope he. I feel like he's gonna miss me when I'm gone, and that makes me pretty sad. But I'll come out and I'll visit, or my dad when he goes to Sedona will drop Bogey off, so I'll get to see him still. It's just not daily. Another thing that I'm gonna miss about Vegas, well, not think, I'm definitely gonna miss is my wrestling coach, Justin Haynes. He's the wrestling coach at Extreme Couture, and he's like pretty much made training in Vegas like the most enjoyable part of my experience. Like when I was at 10th Planet, it didn't really like line up. I didn't feel like it clicked. I learned some cool techniques, and like I learned a lot from the coach. Like philosophically, I changed the way I want to train martial arts, the style I want to imbue in myself instead of just kind of doing whatever. So that was really helpful, but didn't click. And then I was just like exploring other classes like the jiu-jitsu at Couture, the Muay Thai at Couture. The Muay Thai at Andrade has been great. like it's like a smaller gym, so it's really good for like me being a beginner and kind of like asking questions and learning. But there's some like the wrestling class on Monday, Wednesdays. Those are like my favorite days of the week. There's this kid named Zion who's just a killer. Justin is just like, he's super knowledgeable. I like his, and I realize like there's just like there's styles to like say jiu-jitsu or striking. Like some people for striking maybe fight in the pocket, some fight on the outside, some prefer kicks, some prefer punches. You know, like there's the same with jiu-jitsu. It's like some people prefer playing off their back, some people prefer playing on the top, some people like to wrestle. There's all these different styles to martial arts, and I realize that now that I've kind of been exploring other gyms and exposing myself to a large amount of coaches, there's coaching styles as well. And I really like Justin's coaching style because it's just concise and to the point. There's no fat in what he talks about. All the fat's cut out of it, and then it's just like boom, 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 go. And then we're all doing it, and he'll go around the room and just correct it very well. When I have a question, he answers them really well. And he answers my question too. Like sometimes I'll ask a coach something. I'll be like, how do I do this? And then they'll be like, well, why would you want to do that when you could do this? You know, and I get what they're saying, like, but a lot of the time I'll, like, for instance, when I'm working on my body lock pass, I had to go around a few coaches until I found one at the 10th Planet in downtown, Patrick Hoffman. Because I'd ask coaches, like, how... I realized I should have asked, do you body lock pass? Because I would just ask them, how do I body lock pass from here? Or with my hands connected. And it was my mistake for expecting them to just know everything, right? Because they just don't body lock pass, so they would show me what they did instead. So then I started asking, do you body lock pass? Do you body lock pass? And when I asked Patrick, he did, and then he spent like 15 minutes with me just like watching me do it, working with me, like pointing out the little nuances that he's discovered, and it like really helped my body lock pass. So it's definitely like eye-opening, because at some point I want to coach. And when I was visiting Arizona last week, I told Morgan, he's the jiu-jitsu coach and the gym owner, I asked him, I told him, like, when I move back, I'd be down to start coaching. I'd love to start coaching. Like, I feel like I'm at a point, grappling-wise, where I can at least teach, like, really basic fundamentals. And, yeah, I just want to start making, like, grappling more and more of my life. It's already what I'm doing all the time. And it's now at a point where, like, I'm thinking about concepts. Like, I was telling my buddy this yesterday, I'll be driving and I'll just start thinking, like, literally not even just driving, like, literally I was just up this morning and I was taking a shit thinking about, like, a specific choking mechanic for the arm triangle. And then I was, like, connecting it to Darces and Anacondas, like, just choking mechanics in general. And it's weird, like, my brain is just, like, subconsciously kind of working on it all the time. I'll be driving to work and I'll be thinking about it. I'll be driving back from work, I'm thinking about it. Before bed, I'm thinking about it. So I'm getting to a point where, like, my mind is, like, just pretty singularly focused on grappling. Obviously, I want to do MMA, so it's like grappling, I think, is just my passion right now. And MMA is something I'm jumping into just because I want to learn how to strike. I want to learn how to wrestle. Like, I want to learn how to blend it all. But and maybe once I get better at striking, I'll start to have this same sort of, like, obsessed passion for it. But until then, like, I'm just having all these ideas that I want to submerge myself in. And I feel like if I'm in the gym more, like, teaching, and if I'm in the gym just plain old, just more time, I'll be able to work through it more. Like yesterday, after wrestling, I asked a dude to stay, and I, like, was just working on this arm triangle that I saw Fionn Davies. She had this video that she explained how she finishes it. And I was blown away. There was, like, 5 minutes of detail. Not even setting it up. Like, you're already in the position. It's just 5 minutes of detail finishing it. And I've always been shown the arm triangle, and it's like 2 or 3 details where it's like getting the shoulder under the chin, arm around the neck, clasp hands, hip down. And for other people it works, but it's just never worked for me. And then once I saw her video, I was like, oh, this looks like this is very technical. Like, this is a great approach. And I hit it a couple times the next day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like figure this out more. And I'm really excited because I don't really have any submissions that I have flushed out all the nuanced finishing mechanics. I can hit them, but I don't have like a methodical, in-depth understanding. Like, this is what I do, boom, 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 and then consistently get a high percentage finish. Like, the closest thing I have is my anaconda, but my anaconda choke, I still struggle to not burn out my arms when someone's good at defending it. So I know that it's just not there yet. It's like I'm mediocre with my anaconda. And I really like the arm triangle because it's from top. It's like you get into mount, you're on top, you're not conceding position, and it's a choke. So it's like it hits all these criteria that I really like, because people don't have to tap to joint locks if they don't want to. Lots of people won't. You can see like Tony Ferguson and Charles Oliveira when Charles armbarred Tony. Tony didn't give a shit. Like, his arm was hyperextended. It looked disgusting, but he was still fighting. But if he was choked out, the fight would have been over, you know? And so I value chokes over joint locks, for me at least. And then I don't really want, like, for instance, with the anaconda, it's nice because if I fail, I can come out on top. But it's from front headlock, and it's like I'm in a dominant position, but there's a lot they can do from that position to get out of it. So it's not a neutral position, but there's more openings, I feel like, for them to get out than if I'm on top, mounted them and suffocating them, you know? It's like, it's just moving into mount and then into a choke submission that doesn't concede position is just ideal for me. And I can feel I'm getting like super excited to like go back to flag and just submerge myself in grappling again, because I'm kind of spread out. It's like I do a little bit of everything right now, which is good. That's what I have to do. But I'm excited to just grapple for hours each day again, so that when I have something I want to just work on, I can just spend a large amount of time working on it, instead of, like, for instance, the jiu-jitsu where I'm working on my arm triangle right now, it's Tuesdays and Fridays. Besides that, I'm not really doing jiu-jitsu. So it's going to be a lot of fun. What else? I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm like doing everything I want to do, to where I have this habit where I'll like be chilling before training, and I'll have this urge, or like I'll feel this need to be productive. Like, I need to be doing something, and then I'll be like, well, what can I do then? Like, what should I be doing? And then I'll think about it, and I'll be like, I don't even want to do anything. Like, there's nothing I really feel like I need to do. And it's kind of nice. Like, I feel like I'm kind of laying off the gas pedal a little bit. Like, I'm not in many ways, because I'm still just like obsessed with training. So like physically and mentally, I'm pouring myself into that. But outside of that, like, I feel like everything's just like in place. I feel happy with where I'm at. Like, physically, emotionally, and mentally, like, I'm very happy with everything. And for the first time in my life, I just like will come home, and then it's just like I just can chill. I'll just fucking watch TV, you know? I'll just like drink coffee. If I feel like watching film, like UFC film, I'll watch that. But it's like, I'm just chilling. It's really nice. And even this move, like thinking like, oh, there's all this, like I have, in all my past moves I've always thought like there's all this stuff I had to do, which I did. But now I'm kind of realizing like there's nothing I really have to do for this move. It's like all I got to do is just pack up my shit in boxes, which I have nothing. Like, it's pretty much, I can fit all my shit in my little Honda Civic. Besides my inversion table, I'll probably leave that here for a little bit. I can throw all my shit in boxes, clean up the house, help my dad set up the room for him, and then it's done. It's like, it's that easy. So, yeah, it'll be good to be with friends too. I'm excited to go back, be with homies. I know so many people in Flag. There's so many deep connections that I have there, where I'm excited to go back to that. I'm excited to go back to nature too. And I feel like I got what I needed out of leaving Flag. Like, going out and exploring gyms in Vegas, especially Vegas, like, has so many great gyms that I feel like I got. I feel like I wouldn't have changed my philosophy about how I want to train or been exposed to, like, wrestling the way I was exposed to wrestling here if I hadn't left. Same with the ayahuasca. Like, I don't feel really negative anymore or complain. Like, I don't get fixated on my environment and feel upset about it anymore. Like, that's a big one. And that just is like a relief off my shoulders all the time. So going back, I think it's like I just feel like I'm a fresh person. I needed to do what I did, and now I'm ready to go back and just make the best out of it. I'm really excited to be in a small gym again and just to, like, train with the homies. It's going to be super fun. And like I said, like, I just want to pour my energy now into other people as well when I'm training. Like, I feel like I actually want to share, like, some stuff that I've learned with others. And I've never felt that way in my life. I've always been hesitant to, like, show people stuff because I didn't want to show them things wrong. But I feel a lot more confident in myself to show things in a way that's not completely misleading, you know? Still don't know shit, but I know, like, little things here and there that I think are valuable. So, yeah, that's it. August 1st, I'll be in Flag.